Good afternoon. How are we all doing? Sorry it's a funny time of day for us. Everything's all a bit up in the air this week, and an opportunity to stream presented itself, so we are taking it. And good to see the catering truck there going through the baggage vehicles. But that's fine, I guess. Hey Talvin, how you doing? So, a nice little flight today, one of my favourites. We are taking our 737 back from Nice in the south of France, back to Heathrow. Lovely flight this one, always enjoy it. Not entirely sure what the weather's doing at Heathrow, haven't actually checked in yet. In fact, let's do that now. Where's my charts at? Let's have a look. Heathrow weather. 360 and 6 knots. So if we're coming in on runway 09, that is in fact a complete, almost a complete crosswind, isn't it? But only 6 knots. So nothing worth getting in a twist over. Fairly simple routing today, straight over France, almost in a straight line. And then we're going to come in on the big transition. Where are we? Yeah, also 1 hotel arrival, transitioning at big, and around we go onto runway 09 left. And as for coming out of Nice, runway 22 left, so the one nearest to sea, basically. And yeah, we will taxi out on Charlie, onto Tango, across the back of... actually, no, wait, that's the wrong way. That is the wrong way completely. Ignore everything I just said. What will we do? Still Charlie, onto Tango. Then onto Golf, Uniform, Hotel, cross 22 right, onto 22 left via Hotel 2. Actually, we'll hold at Hotel 3. Come on, get lined up and get gone. So that's the plan. Looks like catering's nearly done. Alright, let's jump in. So this isn't any payware, this is part of the world update, wasn't it, this airport? I think it looks a bit snazzier than usual. Looks alright though. It looks alright. Anyway, let's get the plane fired up, then we'll get ourselves on our way. So, battery on. Oops. I did not mean to do that. APU off. Thank you. So block fuel today. So we get FS actions, ground services. I don't know why it always defaults to stairs. Let's go jetway. I only got 104 passengers today. And the cargo 2,359. What's our fuel capacity? Oh, look at that, 7777. I'll be damned. Let's request a fuel truck, shall we? How you doing, Zero? Am I ready for cross the pond? No. No, I am not. When is it? I'm woefully out of touch with all of that stuff, I'm afraid, at the moment. Oh, here comes a fuel truck. The last week's been a bit all over the place, really. So content has been a bit on the sparse side, let's just say. So fuel truck is attaching, so we should be able to start fairly soon. There we go. Why can't I start that then? Am I making a mistake? Let's get the jetway over anyway. Hey Goofy, how's it going? Right, let's request a ground power unit. There it is. Hey Simon, how you doing? Simon didn't know you'd become a member. I must have missed that. Appreciate it, thank you. Right. Why can't I start the fuel? It's greyed out. Confused about that. E-plane. I never normally do it this way. I normally go through the other way. We on cargo 2359. Saw some maths on that. Be 1,100. Oh, you did it last week. Sorry, I missed it. I must have missed that. I apologise. Right, 1179. You see, in a lot of ways, kind of like all this stuff that PMDG give us, it's like a little mini GSX, isn't it? So other door's going to open. Yeah, there they go. Do it this way. I don't know why the fuel's not going in. Probably because we got more on board than what we need, maybe? I don't know. PMDG setup. No, wait. FS actions. Ground services. Yeah, let's release the fuel truck. Yeah, it won't be long, Simon. Won't be long. Looking forward to that. That'd be cool. Hopefully, yeah, hopefully it'll be a good thing. I'm sure it will be. Hey. That's all looking good. Okay, let's go to ground services then and get rid of all that stuff. Let's use our ground power. Now, have we got the hydraulics fault? It seems like every time I start this plane, we get a hydraulics fault, which is really weird. Let's go into the errors and have a quick look. Maintenance. No, wait. Aircraft, failures, active. Yeah, hydraulics. Don't know why it does that every time. Every time. Maybe I need to do like an update or something on there. There we go, so if we go return, failures, active, none. Very weird why it's doing that. I thought it was me doing something wrong in the setup initially, but I don't think it is. Because obviously I don't make any mistakes. Obviously. Alright, so we're fueled, we're loaded. Get some nav on. Blighty, how you doing? Have I got hydraulic pumps on? Not at the moment, no. But it happened the other day. I don't know if you're in the stream where like the whole plane was like fired up, good to go. Still had that issue. Really weird. Very, very weird. Okay. FMC, pausing it. Let's grab one of these coordinates. Pop it in there. Lovely. Okie dokie, in the route. We are Lima. Foxtrot. November, Echo Golf, Lima Lima. Activate, execute, departures, arrivals. Now we're departing on 22 left. Yeah, it's bizarre. I don't know whether it's been like a sim update and I haven't updated the plane or something. I need to look into that. I'll have a proper look once this stream's all done. So, what are we doing? Bado 7X. Then into Heathrow. The, was it Ailes 1H? Yeah, it is. Left 09 left, transition big. Good. I love this departure out of Nice. It's kind of a straight out, then we sort of loop around and we get some great views as we come over. Europe, how's it going? Okay, pop that into plan. We'll just quickly step through the route. Yeah, sorry for the random time and the lack of notice on today's stream. It's all been a bit up in the air. I wasn't entirely sure I'd have a chance to stream today, so when the opportunity came, I was like, right, quickly, let's go live. And then, yeah, here we are, basically. It was very much a last-minute decision. But I'll take all I can get. Good. And what is local pressure here in Nice? 1002. Good. Let's do perf init request while we're here sorting stuff out. Oh, doing Manchester to Dublin. Nice. Nice little short hop, that one, isn't it? Okay, N1 limit we'll leave alone. Flaps. 5. There's our speeds. Centre of gravity 477. Which probably is about there. Good. Get the yaw dampener on. Fuel pump centre ones we don't need. Get some AC on. Anti-collision light. Seatbelts on because we are about to think about a pushback. Let's get that APU on. What are you flying in Europe? You 737ing it or A320? Or something else? I see the 787-9 is all the rage at the moment. Along with the, is it 321, 319 Airbus? It's funny, I just feel out of the loop. Okay, do V2 plus 15 up. V2 plus 15 up here, so that'd be 159. Our runway heading is 223, so we'll get that dialed in. Seven 378. As nature intended. I love this plane. Really, really do like it. I kind of feel like I've got immunity now to all these other planes that are coming out, and you see like a lot of other people flying them and getting excited. I'm like, yeah, but the Boeing's just so good. We don't need any other planes. I mean, obviously we do, but I just feel so satisfied with this plane. It's unbelievable. Buying the A330. Oh, is that the LVFR, or whatever it's called? Haven't tried that one yet. Haven't tried it. I must look at it and make my own mind up. Okay, what am I doing? Legs. That's what I wanted to do. El Pepino! How are we all doing? Okay. So, it looks like we're more or less straight out to 2,000 feet today. Yikes. Hey, Zepti. Bracken says, I got my Logitech Saytech yoke. See your videos of how to get an idea at the sim. Nice. For now, you've just got the sim and your PMDG 737-800. Amazing. I mean, that is a solid start. It's a solid start. Still at work. Oh no, not working too hard, I hope. Working hard or hardly working? Alright, let's start taking some power from the APU, which means we get rid of ground power. Flight sim's expensive in your country. How so? Feels like we're flying high today at 40,000. Rarely get a flight plan at that altitude. Check out, I've got a video actually in my top 5 add-ons for Flight Sim, so that's probably a good place for you to start, but yeah. Depending on if you're going to be doing VAT Sim, things like that, that may inform whether you want to go Navigraph or kind of do it the free way on ChartFox and SimBrief, that kind of thing. I would say you've got enough to be getting on with just learning the 737 that you've got. I mean, it's a complex aircraft. I'm still learning it. You know, we've had it over a year now, but I still feel like every time we fly it, we learn a little bit more about it. That's kind of the fun, I think, for the most part. Good. Okay. Set the parking brakes. So we're going to get rid of the ground shocks. Think about using GSX, which again is one of the add-ons I would recommend. And we'll get ourselves pushed back. So menu, FS actions, ground services, remove the chocks. It's also disconnecting ground power as part of that. That's good. Why isn't the thing going away? Jetway. Oh, maybe I needed to do that prior to removing the ground shocks. Oh, there it goes. Okay, good times. That's weird. Good. So, let's just review our taxi route again. So we're going to come out of here. If we do... We do tail right, so we've got our tail up here, then we'll come down on Charlie. Onto Tango. Then Golf, Uniform, Hotel, and then we hold at Hotel 3. That should do us nicely. Good. Right, let's see if we get GSX to give us a pushback. Nice airport though, this. Done a nice job with the,
Hello, Captain. We are ready for pushback.
the terminal up here.
Departure check completed. Bypass pin inserted. Locking gear.
Alright, here we go. So we'll do nose left, tail right.
Release parking brakes. Commencing push. All engines clear. Start at will.
Very nice. It's just the default one, Simon. That comes. I must have come with the world update or something. Okay, let's get these packs off. And we'll do engine 2 into ground. Love that we've got a United 737 next to us. Alright, let's add some fuel. Yeah, that's the first thing that struck me, Simon, is how good it looked, considering it's not paid for or anything. I had the time of my life on holiday in Nice. Because of course, like, you can just stand on the promenade and you've got planes that just kind of come right over to land. It's amazing.
Set parking brakes. Waiting your confirmation for a good engine start.
On pitch and ground, we have a good engine start. You can disconnect.
Okay, packed into auto. Power from the engines. Isolation valve auto. APU for lead off. APU off.
Unlocking gear.
No faults, that's good. Ozzy, check my, go into my profile page, or like the channel page, look at my videos and like scroll back maybe
Tow track disconnected, bypass pin removed.
Maybe like 4 or 5 videos, you'll see a video I've done all about
Left
it.
is clear, right is clear.
Right, projected takeoff is set. Flaps are already set to 5. Let's do flight directors on. Arm L nav. Didn't quite get that clicked, did it? There we go. Arm V nav. Auto throttle is also armed. Whoa, what's going on here? What was that? I did not ask for it to do that. Oh, I know what I did. I accidentally clicked on this little screw, didn't I? That's the toga switch, weirdly enough. Alright, we'll forget that ever happens. We'll do auto throttle off until we're ready to go. Yikes. Well, that was something, eh? Why won't LNAV come back on, or VNAV come to that? That was strange. Okay. Let's begin our taxi. Was most unnerving, wasn't it? Right, so this should be Tango that we're going to turn onto. Double check where we are. Yeah, so we're going to keep going straight on up. That's good. Nice does look nice. It's funny, I was watching an old, I don't know if you remember it, there's an old series on ITV years ago in the UK called Airline, where it's basically where they follow EasyJet staff around and make a little TV show out of it. And it was so old, EasyJet were flying 737s, that's how old it was. And one of the pilots, they're in the cockpit with him, and he says, yeah, we're flying into Nice today. And every single time I come on the radio to talk to the passengers, it's kind of like I have to stop myself from saying, and the weather in Nice today is nice. Yeah, so weird watching that old show. Like, for a start, they're flying 737s, which is unusual, because of course they're an A320 operator these days, exclusively. And just like the cars and that, like when you see people arriving at the airport in their cars, you know, like Sam's arrived late for his flight. Will he make it in time? And he turns up in like a super old kind of like Vauxhall Vectra or something. It's like, whoa, that is so old. Right, I think we're going to make a right turn here. Yeah, for a freebie, Simon, this is brilliant. So we're going to turn onto Golf. And then onto Uniform almost immediately. Bit annoying with that auto throttle thing. And here's Golf. There it is, there's the marking. No entry. Yeah, this is a great airport, this. I really enjoyed. I actually flew this route in real life. Really nice departure. There's a guy on the flight, he had like 3 or 4 kids with him. They were older, but still children nevertheless, like sort of early, maybe like 12, 13. And he came up, got them all sat down, got them strapped in, made sure their bags were up in the top bit. Then he's like, right, I'm off to first class, see you later. Just left him. Too right, yeah. I was reading a thing about that, how like cabin crew are a bit like, we're not childminders. You can't just like put all your kids in coach and then or economy and then swan off to first class thinking we're going to take care of it all. You can see their point. Alright, let's just hold here a sec. Let's get our lights on. Engines, whoops. Into continuous. Strobe and steady. I think we're alright here. I think this is the right thing to do. Never entirely sure with lights on this thing. Very good. Alright, Heathrow, here we come. Very good. Let's start the clock. Let's get out of here. See if we get any errors. Holding it on the brakes. Till 40% N1. Whoa, that was a bit of a twist there, wasn't it? Okay, let's see if we can do auto throttle now. Yeah, there was a bit of a tail kick there, wasn't it, as we rotated? Go. Let's engage that autopilot. So that we can look out the window. Yeah, let's get those lights off. Engines out of continuous. Projected takeoff, we'll get rid of that. Flaps are up, and transition's 18,000. Yeah, it is one mightily impressive view, that, Adam. I'll give you that. I'll give you that. Thanks everyone for liking the stream today. It really does help. It helps so much. I can't oversay that. Like, really, really does help a lot. Okay, standard pressure coming up. Okay, gear is up. But for whatever reason I can't get it into the neutral position. Don't know why. Never have been able to do that. Very strange. So auto throttle is on, LNAV, VNAV is on, climbing up to 40,000. I'm doing alright. Halfway there, 20,000 feet nearly. How you doing, Piff? Your sim graphics are going mental. In what way? Captain Medi, how you doing? Nice to see you again. Hope you're well. Not enough power on the GPU. Okay. What's your rig? $3060 requires at least 650 watts. I thought it was 550 for the 3060. Oh, hello Sid. How you doing? Cheers for putting out that video. That was really helpful the other day. I am considering going the same way as you in time. I think I may start with the CPU, Sid, because I feel like I'm CPU limited so much of the time in this game. I mean, Piff, just to give you some context, I'm running a 3070 and I have a 650 watt power supply. It's tricky. It's hard to say that this card must have this much. I mean, I could probably run a 550 and get away with it because my processor is quite modest. You have to understand when they say you need a 650 watt power supply for this graphics card, they kind of have to assume worst case scenario for all the rest of your components. So I'm running an AMD 5600X, which is a relatively efficient processor, doesn't take too much power. On the other hand, I could be running a 13 or 14900K overclocked to 6 point something gigahertz all cores, and that would tell a very different story in terms of power draw. I think it's about a 200 watt card, isn't it? 3060. Keep seeing 170 when I look online for 3060 power draw. So 170 plus whatever your CPU is. Okay, so an i5 12th gen. Are you overclocking that? My graphics are on Ultra. Well, I start with Ultra and then I tweak it. I tweak some things because I'm certain things I just don't think are necessary. And you get a few extra frames that way. Do I recommend the Boeing TCA yoke? Yeah, I do. It's awesome. I'm flying with it today. Been flying with it for a long time. So this is my little setup. So I've got my Airbus throttle, my Boeing yoke, and this combination absolutely triggers so many people. It's hilarious. The amount of comments, especially on like TikTok and Insta, or TikTok especially, just the comments are hilarious. But what people don't realise, I think, because they just see this and they just see this and they're just so triggered by that, what they don't see is over here, slightly out of view, is the Airbus side stick from Thrustmaster. So the whole idea of it was that when I'm on Airbus, I can use these two. When I'm on Boeing, I'll use these two. And actually, this one as a go-between between Boeing and Airbus is really nice. When you're on Boeing, obviously you get the clicks of the detents for the different gates on the Airbus. You just ignore them. You can turn it upside down and unscrew some things that get rid of that. But then you'd lose that for when you're in the Airbus, and I'm not going to unscrew and screw it in every time. That would be annoying. Were it the other way round, if I got the Boeing version of this, I think I would end up with a worse deal in the Airbus versus the deal I get when I'm in the Boeing with this, if that makes sense. So it's all a trade-off. That being said, the moment someone makes a motorised 737 throttle with a trim wheel and all the flap levers, and I mean, yeah, I may have to do something at that point. Sid, I don't know if you're still there. If you are, did you ever get a chance to have a look at your frames using the Nvidia overlay? You want to get the throttle with the parking brake and that? Yeah. There's a cool mod you can do as well for that, so that it works nicely with the Boeing. Because the flaps lever, I think it's got. In fact, let's hop in here and have a quick look. Oh wait, we're not in the Airbus. I was going to show you. Of course, we're in completely the wrong plane. See if I can find that mod. Show you what I mean. This is the one. Hang on, let me drag my browser window over the sim briefly. Here we go. So, yeah, this is obviously the Airbus throttle thing with the speed brakes and the flaps. But you see this little bit here? Obviously the levers have been 3D printed as well to give a more Boeing-like feel, but I don't think that's too important. What is important are these little notches that then give you the, if I can show you in here, give you the corresponding notches to the flap settings in the 737. But they also line up, see this one here lines up with Airbus flaps 1, this one here lines up with Airbus flaps 2, flaps 3 and so on. And it's designed such that, you see these little posts that stick out, you put a little spring in there. Where is it? So you actually have to kind of lift the handle, much like you would in the real aeroplane, to move it. So you have to sort of lift the handle, move it, click it back down, and the spring sort of locks it into place. You obviously need a 3D printer for all this. Maybe someday. So with that little setup right there, I'd say you've got a nice kind of plane agnostic throttle setup. Works well with Boeing, works well with Airbus. I think you'd have to set up a custom curve for the flaps in something like SPAD, because I think you'd struggle to set them any other way. Yeah, I keep thinking about a 3D printer. I think about a 3D printer actually quite a lot of the time. It's probably only a matter of time until we get one. It's amazing what you can get for your money as well now. It really is. Like, when I started looking at it, I thought these are going to be at least like £1,000. They're really not. Yeah, I think they're a good idea, Simon. It's tricky because, like when we were saying about it, oh no worries, Aaron. When we were saying about it the other day, like potentially building a cockpit or whatever, it's like, yeah, but you've got to commit really to one aircraft, and then the moment you go into another aircraft, all that work you've done is not great. I think what I would like maybe is the ability to move the throttles sort of lower, so they'd be in a more realistic position as if you're in the real aircraft. Because at the moment they're just sort of level with up here, which obviously is not where they'd be at all in a real aircraft. And maybe just sort of something that kind of starts over here and kind of goes across the top of my yoke here, just sort of across, and maybe get some like dials in here for like autopilot stuff. And then maybe if I'm going to drop my throttles down, maybe we could have like it on like some sort of little box mounted nicely, sort of lower, you know, much like this sort of height here. We could maybe get some like radio stuff and ILS stuff baked in. I don't know. Sort of thing where it could start getting expensive. Expensive and janky, I would imagine, to maintain it, to keep it working all the time, with sim updates and new aircraft. Right, it is just gone 4 o'clock, which means it's time for my final, well, I say this, yeah, it probably is, my final coffee of the day. I'm going to go and quickly grab a coffee. Now we're at cruise. I'll leave you all to enjoy the tunes and the views. I'll be back in about 2 minutes. Alright folks, I'm back. Very cloudy up here, isn't it? It absolutely stinks of smoke here. Someone's having a bonfire. This is not my PC on fire. Damn, that is a good cup of coffee. Is it too late? It's 4 o'clock too late for coffee? I feel like maybe it is, but at the same time I feel like it is. Not for me. Oh, Louise, sorry I missed you saying hi back there. I don't know if you're still here or not. Apologies, I was not paying attention. My bad. Right, how are we looking? Let's have a look at the progress tab. 282 miles till top of descent. That's fine. Just going past an airport, not that we can see it. Very good. Let's overlay the chart. Oh, you are still there. Sorry that I missed you. Sorry. Pilot should plan for possible descent clearance as follows. Flight level 180 by ETBAX. Flight level 070 by Big VOR. Yeah, that's standard. So let's have a look at our legs. Whoops, wrong button. ETBAX 180. And then sure enough, Big 7000. What about... let's just open the chart on its own. I find it a little bit hard to read. Okay. Final approach course 089. Decision altitude 279 feet, because it would be 200 feet, but of course we're 79 feet above sea level, hence runway 79 feet, add 79 feet to that, that's fine. This approach climbs straight ahead when passing 1,580 feet, or D00, inbound, whichever is later. Climb left, climb turning left, track 36, or 036 to 3,000 then as directed. Okay, so in the event that happens to us, seeing as we are not on VATSIM at the moment, we'll do 036, and then we'll loop around and have another go. ILS DME reads 0 at runway 09 left threshold, that's fine. Got to study for math, no worries. So we're going to enter the glide slope at 2,500 feet and then track it all the way down. Good, 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 good. Too bad about the clouds. Always nice having something to look at out the window. What can you do? Just zoom out the little map. There, if that gives you a better context of where we are. It's under the clouds breaking. We can overlay the weather radar. Maybe not. Right, I do believe it's time for Wordle. Okay. Put Wordle over here. Let's start with early. We'll start with early. Gets a couple of vowels in. Hey, that's not bad. There's a new update to the Phoenix. Ooh. That's not the Block 2 stuff, is it? Or is it just like a smaller update? CFM engines. I've got to be honest, whenever people talk about the CFM engines, I'm never quite sure what they're talking about. I get that it's like another type of engine, but does it make that much of a difference to the plane? Okay, so it is Block 2. Nice. Yeah. Adam, you got it in 4 guesses. Alright. No pressure then. So we've got an R and an E in the wrong place. So R, E... Could it be that? Was our engine's just going quiet there? No, it wasn't. Alright, back to Wordle. So, not an A. What to do? I think it should... I'm going to try something with an R first. But then what do I do to make a word out of that? Rare something something. Maybe not. Maybe not. I could help, but I couldn't afford you. Racky, eh? Is that even a word? No, don't think so. Maybe not RE something then. Something ERY? Like berry? Okay, so those 3 are in the right place now, and there's an... Oh, another R. So R, E... R. No, wait. RE something RY. What? I don't know that word. So that R has to be there, right? It has to be there. The E is right. Those two are right. So what is this letter going to be? Retry? Has to be retry. Nice! Take that, Adam. We got it in 3. Oh, happy days. It's too bad you can't play, like, old Wordles from days gone by. That'd be a nice touch. Because I feel like now it's like, oh, it's over. I want to do another one. Like, if there's Wordles that you've missed, maybe you could have a go at them. That'd be a nice touch. Welcome back, Aaron. A little bit of a break in the clouds, at least. Can't be that far from top of descent, right? 184 miles. So we are, Matthew, 181 miles from top of descent. Doesn't actually, does it tell us how far we are from Heathrow? It doesn't, does it? 16:27 Zulu we should arrive. I think it's an hour. That's in quite a while. That's Nice Airport, Aaron, in the south of France. ETD? Where would I go for that? $333 miles. Where'd you get that from, Simon? DTG is distance to go. Where can I see that on here? Is there a way just to see that? Next to EGLL. Oh! Oh, is that what it is? Oh, of course. I was looking at here at Alt. Yeah, distance to go. Got it. Got it, got it, got it. Cheers, Simon. I don't know why I couldn't see that for myself. Evan, thank you. Appreciate it. Yeah, we need to get another, like, VATSIM video done. I'm going to maybe fly somewhere a bit longer next time, I think. Just to give myself a little bit longer in the cruise, just to, like, not that you need ages, but just, like, give myself, like, a little break for, like, half an hour. Get prepared. Oh man, my temperature sensor's run out of battery. It's annoying. Right, what battery does it need? DR2032. Okay. Hey Maze. Did a flight to Romania and VATSIM. There's a guy who does centre there most evenings. It isn't too busy. Cool. I mean, there was a part of me that was tempted to do it today, but I looked on map.vatsim.net and it was like, ooh, there's not a lot on. And I was kind of getting ready in a rush. It was like I wasn't sure if I was going to be able to stream, so I thought, you know what, I haven't got time to mess with VATSIM. Let's just get live and speak to you guys. That's kind of what I wanted to do, really. Plus, I still don't feel great about streaming and VATSIMing at the same time. Hello Sid, how's it going? How's that incredible PC of yours? Covers the whole country as centre. Wow. I'm always amazed that there are people that are willing to do it. You know, do the controlling, because it's a massive ask, isn't it? Hey, no problem. Yeah, I was just curious whether you tried it with the Nvidia overlay. Because I know when I had mine, I was kind of like looking at the frames being like, oh, that seems a bit low, especially with frame gen. I think it kind of gave me similar numbers, like 40s, 50s or whatever, and I thought, well, if that's with frame gen, I like my raw frames, they must be in the 20s, which doesn't seem quite right. And then I did the Nvidia overlay performance tool. It puts like a little thing in the top right. And that was like really high, like 70, 80, 90s. I was like, oh, okay, fine. I get it now. Unfortunately though, the 4070 had to go back. So now I'm back on the 3070 again, so can't do frame gen at the moment. I feel like I've got to do something. I feel like the game is predominantly CPU limited. And my 5600X is suffering a little bit, so I've been looking... I can either do 5800X or go all out and do much like you did, Sid, and get a 7800X 3D. If I go 5800X 3D, I can keep my RAM and my motherboard and stuff like that. So swings and roundabouts, I guess. Oh yeah, I bet. Yeah, I'll be curious if you do, when you do get the chance, to see if it is different to what Afterburner was reporting. I'm sure it was when I was doing it. I also looked, because I've got developer mode enabled here on the sim, so then you can bring up the debug, display FPS. I mean, I've got my sim locked to 30 anyway, just for reasons. Basically, I'm on a 60 Hz panel that doesn't have variable refresh rate, so it has to be 60 or it has to be 30, otherwise I get tears, and I can't do 60, so it has to be 30. But yeah, even that was reporting like, I don't know, 40 something frames a second with the 4070, and I was like, that doesn't seem right. Like, why isn't it? Where are the frame gen frames? Where are they going? Yeah, it's a shame that one had to go back, really. I was caught in a bit of a pickle. So I was really excited to get the card, and then I just got nothing but trouble. Every time I went live, either the sim would crash, or OBS would crash, or both of them would crash, and I was like, what is going on? And it turned out, because I mean, like the 4070 at that point was like 2 weeks old. And there was an issue with the flight sim and the most up-to-date Nvidia driver, and the advice was to roll your drivers back to an older version. So I was like, okay, fine, I'll do that. But the older version was like a driver that was like, I don't know, 3-4 months old. So of course when you go to install that driver was made before the 4070 was manufactured. So the driver was like, what's this? Like, don't know what this card is. Not installing. So, yeah, I sort of had to put my business hat on and be like, actually, I'm trying to run and grow this channel. I don't need this. I need just put my old card back in and, yeah, send the 4070 back. Because the advice was, you just got to wait for the next driver that hopefully fixes it. But it's like, well, how long will that be? Is it like days, weeks, months? It's tricky. Right. How far are we from top of descent? We've got a minute yet. We're okay. Yeah, it's a pity. Yeah, it's funny, like on the whole, I'm not really into frame gen. Kind of outside of the stuff I do on the sim. I'm very much into, you know, twitchy first-person shooters like the new Counter-Strike 2 that's come out, Valorant, Call of Duty, Halo. So with those type of games, it's all about getting the most up-to-date, accurate information into your eyeballs as quickly as possible. But of course, frame gen kind of, while the frames per second go up, actually delays the frames that you're seeing by a very small amount, because the game engine has to draw frame number 1, draws frame number 2, then frame gen generates a frame to go in between the two, and then you get 3 frames. Which, of course, for all that to take place, adds a little bit of lag, which, yeah, when you're talking about competitive shooters, that's not ideal, but in the context of flight sim, perfect. I mean, you know, look at what's going on the screen now. It's like very, very slow movement. And even on short final, very, very slow movement relative to what would be going on like a first-person shooter or something. I guess with like story-based games as well, that'd be fine. Yeah, I think with the flight sim, it's so limited by the processor. So, yeah, that frame gen is almost like a bypass, isn't it, to that limitation? And like you rightly say, Counter-Strike or whatever, you can get like 400 or 500 FPS out of that. Fairly certain you could run Counter-Strike on a microwave oven at this point. It's very, very well optimized. Yeah, I think Flight Sim is the perfect candidate for frame gen. I'll be keeping my eyes open because there's rumours of a 4080 Super or a 4080 Ti that might come out in the new year. Oh, is my sim just frozen? Oh. They do that to me. It's doing it again, look. Oh no, it isn't. Deep breaths, come on. Yeah, we'll keep our eyes open for whatever that 4080 Super / Ti might be. Rumour has it might be within 10 or 15% of a 4090. At the same price as the 4080 is now. So maybe that would definitely solve my problem. What did you do with your fans, Sid? Did you have to put a custom curve on them to quieten them down a little bit? Progress 71 miles till top of descent. So we've got 180 at backs as per the charts, then 7,000 at big. We go down to 2,500. I'm just going to be lazy. And just dial in 2,500 because we're not on VATSIM, we don't need to worry about anything. And it will just take us down, obeying all the different waypoints at all the different places. Okay, gotcha. Yeah, yeah. have to get me an all-in-one on my next build. I've always had those big massive tower coolers of the processor. Gotta love VNav. Yeah, that's right, Simon. Anything for an easy life. Yeah, EFB is going to be awesome. I should be able to stream with it on the Tuesday, so we'll check that out. Definitely, we'll check that out. I'm tempted to just not look at it on Monday, and look at it for the first time with you all on Tuesday. It'd be really nice when you can use the EFB on like an actual physical iPad or tablet or whatever, much like you can with the Phoenix. So they were saying about that in their forum post, weren't they? Saying that is the plan, but they haven't actually sort of done it yet. Hey, there you go, Sid. Living the dream. Yeah, I'm not at work Tuesday, Wednesday next week. And like you say, half term will be over, so. Similar story for me, just all pushed back a day. Maze, with the honeycomb throttle, with the 737 handles, how does reverse thrust work on that? Does it work like a real Boeing with the extra levers that you pull up, or is it a different way? Little good sized community. Checking out your channel. A lot of your videos from early on didn't get much traction. Honestly, I think the videos were just bad. I was thinking about it. Me and my wife were talking about it the other day. And I think the videos were just poor. I was talking with some YouTuber friends, and I kept saying about like, the algorithm, I just need to get the algorithm to pick me up, and they were like, no, you got it all wrong. Every time you say the word algorithm, replace it for the word audience, and it should all start to make more sense. Because ultimately what the algorithm is looking for is for you to please your audience. And if you please the audience, then you please the algorithm, and then it all kind of loops back around. I don't know if there's a shortcut really. Yeah, it's an interesting question, but yeah, I think my first videos weren't good. I wish I could give you a better answer, Sid, really. Just perseverance, I guess, has a lot to do with it. Just keep on showing up. I remember I started the channel officially in my mind on like January the 3rd, 2021? No. When was it? January the 3rd, 2022 was what I think was like when I uploaded my first video. So that in my mind was like, this is the start of the channel. And I can remember in April, I was on holiday in Prague, and I was looking over my figures and I was like, God damn, I can't get the needle to move. Like, what's wrong with me? And I remember thinking, like, I sat on the balcony of this apartment we'd rented, just with a coffee, thinking, like, should I just not bother? Like, this, what's the point? And then I started getting feelings of almost like jealousy, because you sort of think, well, all these other people can make it work. Why can't I? Like, why am I being punished? How come they get the good luck on YouTube and all these people flock to that channel? And those kind of feelings. Which I'm ashamed to say I had those feelings, but ultimately I did have them. Yeah, I think I was stuck at about 250 subs, and I just couldn't get anything to work. I think really my journey was, I sort of played around with YouTube Shorts a little bit. Hey, top of descent, here we go. YouTube Shorts will get you subs, but they're not necessarily quality subs, if that makes sense. They might sub, but then they're probably not the kind of viewer that wants to watch a 4-hour flight on the basis that they came from a YouTube Short. They may have a limited attention span. And I think when I got to about 1,000 subs, I kind of thought to myself, oh, I suppose I could stream a flight. And that kind of opened up a whole new avenue of new people that were into the longer form stuff. Yeah, I don't know. I don't think there's been one single thing where it's been like, yeah, this has been the reason why I've got to where I am. And I still feel like such a small fish, really. You look at the others that are out there with their sub counts, and you look at like Air Force Proud, like north of 1 million subs. think the main reason I came back to why I kept doing it was because once I started streaming, it's like, if I'm going to fly, I'd rather fly with you guys than fly on my own, really. It's quite nice to have a community flying along with you, which I hope we can grow that. Especially now I'm starting to get into VATSIM. And those of you that are into it as well can maybe fly along with us. Even if you don't want to fly along fully with VATSIM, if you're feeling a bit apprehensive, you can put VATSIM into observer mode so you can see me and the others that are flying along maybe, and just fly along with us. Do your own thing. This has got the 737 and A320 handles with the flap lever speed brake and the A320 D10s. Damn. You got it all. Setup with the reverse is a bit different to the TCA. Why not Convoy? Yeah, that's the way. Let's do it. I feel like I just need to get some more VATSIM flight. I've only had 2 outings on VATSIM. I know I keep talking about VATSIM like we're doing VATSIM now. I've only done it twice. Both of which were hugely stressful. I felt like I was an absolute mess throughout all of it. I remember one of British AV Geek streams, he was saying that let's get our wins in actually. Drag required. I think he was saying like until he got to like flight number 8 or something. It wasn't until around then that the nerves started to wash away, you know. How stressful is VATSIM on a scale of 1 to 10? Let's just load in these wins a moment. We'll execute that. Very good. So I think for me at the moment, VATSIM is a definite 8 or 9 in terms of the stress levels, but that's because I've only had 2 flights. Ask me again when we're on flight number 16 or 17, I'll probably be like, yeah, it's fine, don't worry about it. Which is like so many things in life, isn't it? There we go. We're leaving the continent. What I will say, Evan, is I think, at least from my point of view, VATSIM has a bit of a reputation of being kind of like quite stressful and like don't make any mistakes or you get shouted at. The controllers that I've come across could not have been nicer. You start off well, then you start panicking. Oh, the first VATSIM video is the first one you watched. Yeah, that video blew up. I was not expecting it at all. I think to this day it's still my best performing video. Yeah, I wasn't expecting that. I'm going back to like what you were saying, Sid, about what's like is there a shortcut to grow? Just occasionally one video will pop off. But again, I'm convinced that it's not luck. Going back to what we were saying earlier, like at the start of my channel, I was like, why are all these other channels doing well and I'm not? It's like, it's because my video sucked, basically. So when I do have a video that's done well, I try not to think, oh, you were lucky. I try and think, what went well about that we can learn from and maybe do again in a different flavour. Obviously, if you keep doing the same thing over and over, people get bored, but Yeah, not Heathrow. I mean, maybe I shouldn't have started from Gatwick, really. And maybe I shouldn't have flown into Manchester, but more or less, once I was up in the air, it was Unicom all the way, which... Right, let's check in on the wind, shall we? Because it's been a minute since we've had a look. Pilot edge? No, I've not heard of that, Sid. What's that all about? Okay, so the wind is very, very calm at the moment. 3 knots at 340 degrees, which... Yeah, okay, it's a little bit, you could argue it's a bit of a crosswind, but at 3 knots, blimey. Q0995. Happy days. So what's Pilot Edge? Is that like a VAT sim but crazy kind of thing? Covers LA, Western USA from Seattle down to San Diego. Always on ATC. Not voluntary, but you have to pay a sub. Whoa! Oh, that's incredible. I guess you're also limited to that area of America too, right? Yeah, maybe it's bugged, Simon. I wonder how much it would take I wonder how many VATSIM users would have to pay, or how many users it would take that were willing to pay for VATSIM to be paying their controllers to provide some level of like always on coverage. Okay, coming up on to ETVAX now at flight level 180 is what it wanted. It looks like we're all good to get there. Now then, what was the transition altitude? 6,000. I was hearing the other day that if you want to become like a controller on VATSIM, it's like a 6-month wait. I keep thinking that we're coming in quite high, expecting to land into Gatwick, of course, but it's not. We're going up to Heathrow, aren't we? So we've got a little bit longer. I keep forgetting that. Is the wait time, do you think, because of the time required to train people? Yeah, lack of mentors, that makes sense. Just going to give it a little bit of speed brakes, just to get that speed under control. Don't want that running away from us. That my sim stuttering again. Better not have been. So Gatwick can't be far, can it? Where's Gatwick? Any sign of it? So it should be off to our left. They struggle to see it, A, with the clouds, and B, with all the glare. I do love Gatwick. I feel like kind of Gatwick's our home on the sim. I really do feel that way. Okay, so why is it... Is it going to get us to 250 knots before 10,000? Because it feels like it's going to let us overspeed if we're not careful. Yeah, it's bringing us up a little bit. We're still at 260 though. Doesn't seem right to me. Oh, there it goes. Do runway turn off? I guess we can. There's London. Still no sign of Gatwick, is there? I don't think we're going to see it. It's too cloudy out that way. The glare's not helping either. Just double check the weather at Heathrow. What was it? 995 hectopascals. What a lovely evening. Look at that. Sim is just a marvel, isn't it, sometimes? Like, you think about what we had. And now what you can get on your PC at home is just it's next level, isn't it, really? There's London. Just see London City disappearing off there to the right. The Millennium Dome, or whatever it is now. Is it still the O2 Arena? I don't know, it's been years since I was there. The last time I was there was for the Olympics in 2012. The Shard glowing there. Still the O2, cool. Oh, it was over 10 years ago I was in there. That's a weird thought. It's for the 2012 London Paralympics, I think it was. I remember just being so shocked at how expensive a coffee was in there. Like, you've got to be kidding. There must be some sort of mistake. But no, that's the price, mate. Take it or leave it. Like, oof. Alright, so at Big 26, which is coming up, need to be above 6,000 and above 3.5. That's fine. Speed's 220. Dare I say it, everything looks under control. We'll do auto brakes 2. Love the VATSIM videos, can't wait to see more. Thanks. Yeah, I say I can't wait to do more, I'm still apprehensive. But I will endeavour to do more, definitely. And then we'll start introducing it into the streams a bit as well, I think. There's Heathrow over there. At what point would you put the engines into continuous in a 737? Would it be about now, or is it on final? Curious as to how this landing is going to go for us. I haven't really flown in a few days. Always feel like the first one after a little while is never the greatest. Under 10,000. Nice one. Cheers, Brendan. I'll put it on now then, shall we? Some lights on as well. At 10,000. Got it. Thank you all. That's good to know. I'll remember that. Hopefully, in a few minutes we'll be down there safely. We'll see. Now then, what is the ILS? Let's get that dialed in. One 110.3. Speed brake armed. Hopefully we won't need to deploy speed brakes any further into the flight. So 220, 220, 210. That's 186, 162. Set VREF. 139, so 144 with the +5. It's fine. Oh, Brendan, you legend. Thank you so much for becoming a member. Let's put this into standard pressure. Of course, the plane is now going to climb slightly, isn't it? Because we've gone down in the hectopascals. Check out the members' community posts, Brendan, and same for you, Simon. There should be a link to the Discord if either of you are interested. Everything behaving itself here, that's good. Flyby, how you doing? Welcome on in. You're just in time to potentially see a questionable landing. Just giving it a bit of speed brakes. Possibly unnecessary. I think it probably is. Maybe it is, maybe it isn't. Okay, let's get that speed down. The 177. Feels like we're coming in high. It's all gone a bit weird. Okay, let's get gear down. Be honest, this doesn't feel right at all. Yeah, it has completely gone off profile, isn't it? I don't think we're going to be able to rescue this either. I don't know, maybe we will. Get the yoke cam on, which you can maybe we'll be alright. Wonder why it did that. Okay, 2 reds, 2 whites. We seem to be alright.
1,000.
Still a little bit on the high side. Get that nose down.
Traffic. Traffic. Traffic.
Come on. Over to the left.
300. 200. 100. 50. 40. 30, 20, 10.
Oh goodness. Went on one wheel then. That was a bit weird. I did that. Oh, we're down. That was a bit of a sketchy landing, I'm not going to lie. Not a fan of that. Right, let's come off here. Part of me thinks maybe that should have been a go around from like the 5 or 6 miles out. Because that just felt rushed and weird throughout. I should have probably called it earlier, truth be told. But I kind of just wanted to land. Do you ever get that feeling where you just want to get it down and... get the job done, so to speak. That was a weird landing. I wouldn't mind seeing the replay of that. Maybe my wings just weren't level. Felt like they were. Right, let's clean up the aircraft. Get the flaps back. So we're just getting our practice back in, aren't we? First landing in nearly a week. I'll let myself off. This is where Brendan cancels his membership on the quality of that landing. Not having that. Cancelled. I'm definitely going to scrub back and rewatch that after the stream's ended. Just felt like we dipped. Hey ho. So tomorrow, providing we got some coverage, I might try and do a VATSIM flight in the evening. Not on stream, but just want to stretch the old VATSIM legs a bit and yeah, potentially get a video out of it. Frames don't feel good at the moment. It's feeling quite stuttery. I don't know if you're feeling it on the stream. Well, we're down. We are down. Not particularly proud of that landing, though, not gonna lie. These things happen. "200 feet per minute on the touchdown, I'll take that." It just felt weird. I just felt like we rocked onto one wheel. I'm not sure why that happened. Maybe my rudder pedals are faulty. Maybe that's what it is. Start blaming the equipment. Having said that, it did feel like the tail kicked out a bit at Nice. Maybe that is what it is. Yeah, we'll go with that. Faulty equipment. Right, let's go and find somewhere in T5 to park up, shall we? I don't know why it went off profile then as well. That was a bit strange. And it felt like the plane had the capability to get itself back on profile. It just wouldn't. I wonder why that was. Sorry, Dr. Gamer, I cannot understand what you're typing. I wish I could, but unfortunately I can't. Oh, it's across the pond, is it? Yikes. What about tomorrow? Like tomorrow afternoon / evening. I may have a little bit of time to do something then. So are there certain airports that you have to start from for across the pond, or is it you start from any airport and just on like the US side? We start in US side or UK side? Ooh, those frames. If only I had a PC like Sid's. Then that landing would have been better as well. Yeah, I think in hindsight, I would have gone around probably as soon as that approach looked like we were too high. I should have just gone around. That was my mistake. I feel like everything else from that point on felt rushed. That was a mistake, I think. I think I need to not be afraid of the go-arounds, even when I'm like not flying on BATSIM. I almost feel like it's a massive failure to have needed a go-around, and I try and avoid it at all costs, even if it means messing up the landing. I feel like I need to get better at that. And we'll call it there. Alright, let's get power from the APU. Engine's out of continuous. Should have turned my lights off long ago. And there we have it. Well, sorry about the landing, folks. I feel like that one wasn't particularly good. Mistakes were made. I think the lesson there is don't be afraid to do a go around, because it didn't look right. I feel like we were chasing that glide slope quite a lot of the way down, which isn't the right thing to do. It didn't look right. We should have gone around much sooner. But there we go. Lessons learned. And I'm not entirely sure when we'll be back streaming. My schedule's a bit weird. Obviously we've got the EFB next week from PMDG, so we'll be looking at that. Definitely be streaming Tuesday, most probably Wednesday as well. But in between times, I can't really say what's going to happen. It may be nothing, it may be something. I'll try and schedule it. If we do something, then at least you'll know what's coming up. Anyway, thank you all so much for joining me. Brendan, thanks for the membership. Simon, thank you for your membership. Sorry I didn't spot you last week with that, but I do massively appreciate it. And until next time, take the very best care of yourselves, and I'll be seeing you. Cheers.